Today, we're going to dig into something really fascinating. We're re-examining a tradition many of us hold dear, the prayer for rain. We're going to explore a powerful argument drawn straight from the Quran that suggests maybe, just maybe, true faith isn't only about raising our hands to the sky. It's about getting them dirty too. So here's the central question, right? It really cuts to the heart of how we see faith in action. When things get tough, when a drought hits and people are desperate, our first instinct is often to turn to prayer. And that's powerful. But is that the whole story? All right, let's start with something we're all familiar with, a practice that's respected all over the world, that communal prayer for rain, what's known as Salat al-Istisqa. You know this image. We've all seen it. And hey, maybe you've even been a part of it. It's this incredible moment of a community coming together in faith, asking for help. It really speaks to a deep, profound trust in divine mercy to get us through hard times. But here's where we pivot. What if the Quran's guidance on seeking rain has this other critical piece to it? A piece that we might sometimes, overlook. A piece that's all about human effort and action. So the key to unlocking this deeper meaning isn't some crazy new theory. Nope, it's hidden in plain sight, right there in the structure of the Arabic language in the Quran. There's this subtle but super consistent linguistic pattern that kind of changes everything. Okay, check this out, because this is really cool. This slide breaks down a basic rule. In Arabic, if you add a certain prefix to a verb, it can shift the meaning from doing something to seeking it. So, for example, the verb for giving food is it'am. But when the Quran talks about Moses asking for food, it uses istit'am, which means he was actively seeking it out. This isn't just a boring grammar lesson. It's like a blueprint for understanding. So if we take that exact same language rule and apply it to our topic, the word for the rain prayer, istisqa, literally means the seeking of water. See? The prayer is definitely part of the seeking, for sure, but the question is it the only part? The Quran seems to hint that how we seek Allah is just as important as the asking itself. And when you start looking at it through this new lens, it completely transforms one of the most famous stories about finding water in the Quran. It's time to look past Moses the prophet for a minute and meet Moses the engineer. Right, so this is the version most of us grew up with. It's almost like a magic trick, a pure miracle where God just suspends the laws of nature. You've got a magic staff, a dry rock, and then poof, life-saving water appears. But this analysis presents a totally radical rethink. The command, strike the rock with your staff, isn't a magic spell. It's a practical instruction to get to work. Strike here could mean to dig, to carve, to explore. And the staff? It's not a magic wand, it's a tool. The command is basically, hey, use the tools and the brain I gave you to find the water that's already here, just under the surface. And get this wasn't a one-off thing with Moses. The Quran actually points to other examples. It talks about the people of Thamud, who carved out the rocks in the valley. They weren't just moving rocks, they were engineering them, creating reservoirs and channels to manage their water. They were brilliant problem solvers who combined their faith with some serious ingenuity. All right, now we're getting to what is, for me, the most powerful and maybe even challenging piece of evidence in this whole discussion. It's a verse that gives a really stark warning about what happens when prayer is disconnected from action. Just stop and picture that for a second. It's so simple, but wow, it's deep. Someone is thirsty, they see water right there in front of them, and all they do is stretch their hands out toward it, hoping it'll just, magically fly into their mouth. We all know that's impossible. You have to cup your hands, you have to scoop the water, you have to bring it to your lips, you have to actually do something. And then the verse just drops this bombshell of a conclusion. It says that this kind of pointless, actionless prayer, like hoping water will leap into your mouth, is the prayer of the disbelievers. I mean, that is a stunningly direct statement. It's saying that asking for something while ignoring the physical means God has provided is just a fundamental mistake. So the takeaway here is crystal clear. True belief, from this Quranic point of view, means you have to recognize and work with the physical laws of the universe. To pray for a harvest but not plant any seeds, to pray for good health but refuse medicine, or to pray for rain but not manage your water, that's the very error this verse is warning us about. So if faith really does demand action, what does striking the rock even look like in the 21st century? How do we take this ancient wisdom and apply it to the massive challenges we face today? Well, let's look at a real-world example. In Syria, There are coastal mountains that block rain from getting to the dry parts of the country. It's a classic rain shadow. All this precious water just falls on one side and runs into the sea. So the modern Strike the Rock is a massive engineering project, digging huge tunnels through those mountains to bring that rainwater inland, to fill up dams where people actually need it. This is the 21st century version of Istisqa. It's prayer made real through science, hard work, and action.
So, as we start to wrap this all up, a really new and dynamic picture of faith starts to emerge, doesn't it? It's not this passive thing where we just sit and wait, but an active, energetic process of striving.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. Prayer isn't the alternative to action. It's the motivation for it. Prayer is what sets our intention. It's our why. But the how? That requires us to roll up our sleeves and engage with the world, to use our minds, our tools, and our hands to build the solution. They're not two separate things, they're partners. And that leaves us with one last really big thought to chew on. This isn't just about rain, is it? It's about every single challenge we face. In our jobs, our health, our communities. Where are we just stretching out our hands, kind of waiting for a result, when the real answer is to pick up our staff and get to work?